Hello and welcome to the Push Button Profit Show, episode 417, the show where we bring you the Make Money Online and Internet Marketing product creators. With me today is Mr. Jamie Lewis. Yes, Mr. Jamie Lewis, who's going to be bringing to us BadAss Class, or in my British accent, BadAss Class, which is his latest almost Maria Montessori of Make Money Online university training and course and mentorship to help anyone find their place in the Make Money Online world. It's coming to us on May 31st. So it launches on May 31st at 11 a.m. Eastern. If you want to check it out at any point and jump in and get it, you'll be getting it for a very nice launch discount for the cheapest possible price through the link down below this video. You'll see down in the description box. Go and check it out now through that link below. Jamie Lewis, welcome to the Push Button Profit Show.
Thank you for having me, sir. It's good to be here.
It's an absolute pleasure. And I mean, before we start, I have to say to my audience, I have to make a full disclosure. Jamie is someone who has mentored me. So if I look very excited with myself, I'm not just talking to someone I've never spoken to before. I'm dealing with someone who has personally, and this isn't hyperbole, 10x my fortunes. So I've personally benefited from Jamie's teaching. So when the stuff we'll be talking about today isn't just hot air to get you to buy, although I strongly encourage you to do so, it'll be life-changing through that link down below. I am talking as someone who has personally been changed by the work of Jamie and all that he does and teaches and all the things you will be learning through BadAss Class, the whole BadAss University brand that Jamie's unleashing on May 31st. So Jamie, that was my little introduction to you, but I think there'll be many others who don't really know who you are, who haven't firsthand experienced how you can transform people's financial journeys. So would you mind just very briefly telling people, who are you and why should we trust you?
Well, I've had a lot of experience in teaching folks internet marketing and affiliate marketing and entrepreneurship and leadership, a lot of the technicals, copywriting, video, and analytics, keywords, SEO, all that stuff for over 20 years. Been producing music for 43 years. Started with a tape deck in 1980. I was 3 years old. Used a Casio keyboard. And so I've had a lot of experience, and I've had a lot of experience with my students for over 11 years, and I really enjoy it, passionate about it. So the effect was that I would eventually really understand the challenges that folks go through. And I had some spare time, and I created an educational SAAS, which stands for Software as a Service. And it is somewhat like a university, but it's a Montessori style application. And what that means is that I firsthand saw the experience of traditional school versus Montessori. I went back and forth. For instance, traditional public school didn't work for me. So my folks put me in Montessori until they ran out of money. Then I went back. So I was able to see both. You know, I had 2 years in Montessori and I saw the difference. And after Montessori, I just quit school. And so I was a high school dropout. It wasn't like one of these college dropout stories. And so I started to figure that out, that I think my students, you know, and they're on the webinars and in the comments of YouTube or wherever, that there are different types of folks, different learning styles and different interests and different like advantages and abilities that people have. So, you know, if you're going to say, hey, here's me, come and learn, come and use my templates, you're going to have to do some work to make sure that no man is or woman is left behind. So that's the idea, is nobody's left behind, no matter what is your problem. You know, if you have this problem, we've solved that. And if you have that problem, solved that. And I think it's quite an awesome result. We're seeing students finally do big things. Like after trying a long time, like I conducted surveys where folks had been, it had questions like, how long have you been trying to do this? And they said a long time, for years and years and years. Have you ever had results? No. That's amazing. But it's not the people's faults because they wanted to do it. It's just that for one reason or another, it's like shooting stars with a handgun or something. You're never going to be able to hit the target, I don't know. So yeah, that's a bit about it. I mean, we're teaching people how to make tens, hundreds, and sometimes millions of dollars. I have this one student who's pretty vocal about it. I can't even say how much money he's made. You wouldn't even believe it. So but I mean, if you do the research, you'll see it's all true. It's all, so that's a bit about me.
And I think, so to just jump across that, I think that's what I like so much about BadAss class, is that so many students have gone through basically, I mean, the school is now opening for business to the public on May 31st, but it's not as if it's completely new or an untested curriculum. This is years of basically your own ingenuity, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, seeing what has worked with real, I mean, human guinea pigs is an expression I've heard you use before. I don't know if that's particularly flattering, but basically you've had real students of differing abilities come through your various trainings. And now this is you putting that all together into one big curriculum where, using the Maria Montessori ethos, people of any ability can rock up to BadAss class and through their own ability find what works for them, as opposed to you telling them what they should be doing, which is what most trainings and courses and high ticket programs are all about. It's usually you have one guru who sits at the top, who teaches something that may or may not have worked in the past 2 to 3 years, and you either can do it or don't do it. And there's a high failure rate. In this case, I mean, you can probably talk more to this. You're going to present, you do present a whole manner of different make money online opportunities and business models and programs and tactics. And people who join choose what they want to do. And the modules are basically adapted accordingly to what they are interested in and what they want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Something so interesting is through the years, something else that just recently started to happen in this last year or so was I really started to pay attention to something, and that was the different business models, which also can be interpreted as skill sets too. Some people might disagree, but for instance, if YouTube is your business model, it's also a skill, right? So what I found was that, when I add up all of the different, let me write a list of all the possible business models that I have experience in. Some of them I don't as much as others. And it ended up being about 33, right? Now I ordered them, you can think of it from easiest to most difficult business model. But the way I was able to formulate which one comes first, like for instance, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, was the amount of testimonials I get for each one of the business models. And also something else, like a parallel that comes from this, is which business model are you going to get quicker results with less money? And that coincidentally ends up being, first grade, second grade, third grade. So like, for instance, the first business model that's the easiest, and it also has to do with how fast are you going to get physically paid money. Some of the factors of how fast you're actually physically going to get paid money would push something off to like third or fourth or fifth grade. So the first business model, which is a form of an agency, right? It is actually the only one that I feel like you can actually physically get paid immediately, unless it was like a physical product off of a marketplace where you did a private deal or something like that. So that's like to be debated, but I'm also really concentrating and have perfected that curriculum by means of like what I have most experience in. And although I have like $500,000 in sales on eBay for websites, I'm still admittedly really not a very big e-com guy, although I've done really good advertising campaigns for students and partners that have awesome physical products. But I'm really, I mean, if you look at my, 20 something $million of revenue in my, in my resume and everything, it's not a lot of it from e-com. So that's not really in my curriculum, admittedly. But if you have an e-com product, I can show you how to sell the shit out of it, right? So I featured for this launch tomorrow, I understand that people need certain things, but they also want certain things, and they want to get results really fast to prove to their angry spouses and to understand that it's real and all of that. So I took the easiest, stupidest, most ridiculously simple business model and showcased it. So when people get in, that's what is going to be focused. We're focusing on it first, and then, unlock everything at your own pace, right? So it's not just, with Montessori, it's like, oh, let's see how this student learns. No, that student might be, if he's interested or she's interested in that, then we're going to focus on that. It's about the individual, not the collective, right? But it's also a kind of a choose or pick which one depending on your budget. You might not have $3,000 or $5,000 for one of these high ticket programs out there. And so, and think about it, like how great this is for people where they can say, well, I'm really interested in that. And then instead of spending like millions of, some people out there, I've heard on my webinars, we unmute everyone, and some people spent like $200,000 on all that. I'm like, what the heck? And never any results. So I wanted to come in and change the game. I had some free time to build something really cool, and that's pretty much what we're doing. And it's really nice out here, but I got to charge my phone, so I'm going to run up to the office.
Well, listen, we can keep. Listen, I mean, we can almost bring this to an end, right? Because you've talked. Let me just dial this down a little bit. You've built something really cool, which anyone watching now can check out themselves through the link below. You're going to be learning from someone who's done over $20 million in online sales across multiple different business ideas and tactics and strategies. What's wonderful about BadAss classes, you can choose the learnings you want. So it's not Jamie telling you need to follow this blueprint or do this. Jamie's going to put all these opportunities in front of you, and you choose the modules you want. You choose the curriculum you want. You choose the business ideas and curriculum that you want to do. It's self-directed learning. You get to choose your own adventure, and Jamie's there at the side, giving you the shortest shortcut to money, which is at the end of any path or you choose. It's an awesome thing. And again, you watching this can check this out. You don't have to listen to us talking about it by clicking the link below. That's the next step that you need to do now. Jamie, in the final, we'll have just the final question just before everything, your phone dies. If someone wants, can you talk more about sort of unlocking and what sort of upgrades people can expect if they jump in and like what they see? What are some of the other offers you have for people, offers of help that you give them if they wish to upgrade once they've joined a BadAss class through that link down below?
Yeah, when somebody's going through the checkout, it'll give you an option. The first option is to unlock everything. And then there's a special kind of like a JV center with that upgrade as well, where somebody can will be given assistance with high ticket promotions and stuff that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. And then after that, there are a few different options, one of which includes, like, if you want to come to actual mastermind classes, and we have 3 of them a week that I've been doing for a very long time. And that's where we unmute people, as I was saying, and all that. There's also the option to download actual templates and resources. And then we have a traffic service, and then we have a total done for you service, where we'll build everything, and also the social media accounts and everything. It's not just, you know, the done for you resources. We did it for you. It's done for you. No, this is actually done for you. We actually build, and we build the brand, and we do the graphics and the logo, and the stuff that's really, really valuable that a lot of the time you can't outsource elsewhere, right? You can't outsource somebody's creative brain. So that's what I've found that people really rely on me for, is because I am pretty creative. So that's something that, and it's something I enjoy. Like, I enjoy accommodating people's needs when it comes to creative stuff. But I also like to teach people how to be creative. So it's a little bit of, it's the chance to really, you know, use actual templates and resources to get you from A to B really fast. And the strategies are so tested. There's so much time that's gone into testing and finding these strategies, not only from myself, but my students and the affiliates that I work with. And so all I can say is you're going to get that first system. And then when you get to the first OTO, that's a chance to unlock everything pretty much in terms of all of the systems inside, you know, as I was saying, all those business models. And then after that, you'll see there's a chance to unlock all of the downloadable resources. And then after that, there's the masterminds, and then the traffic, and then the done for you resources. So they're really, really very, very valuable. And I think this is your one chance. And I mean, this is pretty documented. We see in the surveys, this is working for a very high percentage of the people who are using it, and their background has been nothing else worked before it. So that's pretty important to know. And you know, I think that's a bit of the methodology and like the curriculum that's come from this, and that's why we're seeing those results, is that, you know, that was the whole problem. And it took a long time to see that. Took a heck of a long time to see that somebody's brain, it's not their fault, but sometimes their brain isn't programmed for what the method is. It really looks good. It's like this shiny object or whatever. And they have all these, in the instructor or the guru or the mentor, whoever, has all these case studies and testimonials. And you're like, oh my God, it's working for that person, that person, that person, that person, that person. But the thing you have to understand is that guru has 10,000 people. So he can easily have 30 or 40 people, right, who are successful, and then showcase those people. But his brain was very similar to their brain, right? So what about people who don't have that same mindset? So it's like I've been able to be a chameleon and adapt to my students' way of learning out of creativity, you know, by being creative and putting myself in their shoes, you know, and having an imagination of like what must be going on, and also being somewhat of a detective too, you know. And I know that's what you do, Johnny Rose. You're a bit of a detective as well. You're very cutting edge with your detective work. So,
well, I learned from the best, Mr. Lewis. Now, listen, on that note, I'm going to take our leave on that note, right? For everyone who's listening and who is intrigued by what Jamie's been talking about, if you have historically failed because of, you know, other high ticket courses with other gurus where just their way of thinking didn't adapt to your way of thinking, then BadAss class is something you should be checking out, because this will adapt to you no matter what your interests are, what your background is. You will find a method and a self-directed path which is perfect for you at the new BadAss class university, with the new school governor Jamie Lewis at the top of it. And you can check it out through the link below. You can get it for the cheapest possible price, and that's the best way to start these things, to go and test it for yourself, see if you like the curriculum and how it works, through the link below. Thank you so much for your time today, Jamie.
Thank you, Johnny Rose, and thanks for everyone watching.